No, I think I mentioned in my speech, mentioned in my speech, when I said last fortnight means I am talking about the spike in bond yields, the US bond yields, which has wider implications for other economies. I am referring to the various statements and coming out of the Fed governors from ECB and from other leading central banks. The data points which are coming, there are mixed data points which are coming. I am referring to the crude oil prices also, which have gone up, and the new uncertainties which have come up, particularly in the last fortnight. I was referring to them. Now, these uncertainties, some of it were there already. It's not as if they suddenly came up, but they have become even more. They have become more pronounced in some sense.
Maybe a short side.
So just to again let me to put it straight for the, so that there is no misunderstanding. I am referring to bond yields. I am referring to the policy pronouncements which are coming, the mixed data points which are coming from various economies, the fluctuations in the crude oil prices, and the persisting volatility in financial markets globally.
So, what kind of impact do we expect on
Sorry?
the Indian market's financial stability? Our
No
own
financial
market. So it may
stability.
be a
No, our you see
short-sighted
our
one right now, but
you see
still,
our
and good
you
focus
see
for us.
what is different in the context of India. Of course, we are impacted by what is happening all over, no doubt on that. But that's not the headline. The headline is that our macroeconomic fundamentals continue to be sound. Our financial sector continues to be sound. Eventually, in these uncertain times, what matters is how strong are your macroeconomic fundamentals, how strong is your financial sector. I think on both the parameters, India is well placed.
The government recently hiked the MSP on key crops for the Rabi season by 2 to 7%. How do you see that playing out on the inflation print for the next few months?
That we are looking at that. We have not yet we have to analyze it. We have not yet completed our analysis of that. And in any case, there is something we are analyzing it, and as and when we analyze it, if there is something to say, we will definitely spell it out.
Any concern on the forex volatility because the rupee is making high-time lows?
Is it because of the
Crude oil prices?
Multiplicity of factors. There is multiplicity of factors. The dollar index has become quite. Dollar index has become strong. The bond yields in US have reached all-time high. But if you look at the volatility of the Indian rupee from 1st January this year till now, the rupee depreciation is 0.6%. I repeat, from 1st January this year till now, the depreciation of the Indian rupee has been by 0.6%, whereas on the other hand, the appreciation of the US dollar for the same period has been in the order of about 3%. So rupee is stable.
So also the recent inflation print
And
was...
Reserve Bank does, we, as I have said it in the, in my intervention today, we are there in the market to prevent excessive volatility.
So the recent inflation
No,
print...
somebody else,
On
yeah.
the issue of crypto, sir, FM said that G20 is well prepared to have a stable regime around cryptocurrency. What's your take?
No, I think crypto, I have already spelled out our position very clearly, time and again, and we continue with the same view. And, what the G20 synthesis, the IMF and the BIS synthesis paper which has come out, that also points out the risks involved in crypto. And crypto regulation also, what does regulation mean? Regulation means, regulation is always on a scale of 0 to 10. Now, a 0 regulation will mean that there is no regulation. It's free for all. 10 means you don't allow it. And in between 0 and 10, it depends where you are. So, FSB has to now look at the granularity, the granular details of regulation. All that it has said is that all that the synthesis paper has done is to recognize the risks involved and looking at how to deal with going forward.
So, but from an India
higher interest
perspective,
rate you are
Sorry?
You said that
Outlook for the higher interest
you
rate.
expect it to be high, but can't
No,
say
I
how long.
answered that question. Why should there's no need to repeat?
Clarified that the RBI is not going to reduce interest.
No, I said please don't misunderstand or misinterpret my statement by assuming that as if RBI is thinking of this thing. We remain very focused on the inflation dynamics, completely focused. We are extra vigilant, and we stand ready to take whatever action is whatever action needs to be taken. And I have said we need to see a persistent, a sort of a sustained decline in inflation. That is our objective to reach 4%. I think that is all. Thank you. Thank you.
2000 रुपए के नोट का सर अभी क्या इंटरेस्ट लग गया? 2000 के नोट में सर क्या अपडेट है?
2000 रुपए वापस आ रहा है, अभी 10,000 करोड़ के आसपास बाकी है आने में. अब उम्मीद एक्सपेक्टेशन ये है कि वो भी आ जाएगा.
Just on 5% inflation, so we can't expect inflation to come down to perhaps 4%, maybe even lower in October itself. One second. Would that create some sort of a durable that represent a durable
I would not like to reply to that question in such a manner.
just-
No, thank you.
Sir, just want to ask on crude, sir. You're not given a new
Crude on what?
I think the last emphasis.
You see, in crude prices, so far as crude, suno yaar boss. In crude prices, what matters is the pump prices in India. That is, at what price petrol and diesel are sold in India in the petrol bunks, diesel, in the petrol pumps. The pump prices of petrol and diesel are important so far as our inflation is concerned. Crude prices, to what extent they get reflected in pump prices, is very important.